Jadi ni ayo ki peladap ni sakti dia kata ka Jingdawa Pynbeit Thymmai dan Thymmai ya ka reservation policy ni ka bangi tin kasi ka bah makarpang ya kepala bu nak bentaki jaj menteri ko ka jala megalia bakontrop ya ki kasi ki jantia bat ki garo kani ka bah karpang kolong haba Donkam tungjam bat haba yo ya ki kota balik pulih sabar na ki kota sarkar nagbanta ni layo iru ya ki reaction na ki babon bat babon hi na ki political leader na political party kem kwa banda keren palat halor kani andre ki babon ki samla bat kumju ki seng ki don gajing sokya ka bai dei bat gajing bam Pynbeit Thymmai ya ka reservation policy ka balaya benta la san pausnam hani kapor ban ya keren ya kani kamat ni don bat ni ya iba adalbert nongrum ibadai i MLA na not shlong ibadai ru kaju opor presiden jong ka khnam kublish bun ba na benta kapor ka jong phi ni don ru ye advocate Bernita R Mara LLM ibadai i legal counselor jong ka Achik Holistic Awakening Movement ka kunhun sang bahalang narilom garo ni don ru iba tribor lang suchen i dei i general secretary jong ka Jantia Student Union idonru iwe samla pulih iba ini tayog baladap la persyang ban pensawa ya kasur kajong i badan kam kajing penkala ha ka reservation policy kata ide i samla barilang pengrop kublai shibun nam ta kapor jong pi but ni donru ya uwe u samla u basitho ya ki kolom ne u kolomnis but badai ru u samla batrai man soba u samla Dominic S Wankar kublai shibun nak benta kapor jong pi kani kapor kani kapor ngan pai shwa sha iba adalbert nongrom hadu kat nu kumban su yatu ya ginong pet gijongi na marhang ni ngidon lang i panelis jongi i badai na royal sebab im smutu wai kasi ngin ya kran lang daga ketien kasi but English Madam Bernita, because our viewers here we are very comfortable and much understanding with Khasi language. So we will be discussing the topic both in Khasi and English languages. And for you, you can discuss it in Garo for the convenience of our friend from Garo Hills and in English so that we can all understood. Thank you so much. So we will begin the show with Ba Adalbert Nongrum. Ba Adalbert, kumno pisngau halor kani ka Jingdawa hadu katno kolong ka Donkam ban Pynbeit Thymmai ya ka reservation policy. Ba Adalbert Nongrum.
Okay, first and foremost, I would like to say hello to each and everyone, panelists, for being together in this very important discussion. Ako paningkong do nga sumuban pensarong yala ka jong kaktiin nakabangakren nakaktiin na jong marangit scam na Donkam hangni ang tayingin kren de kiway pat kikentien nongway naktin English kabangila ban ya susu lang bat kiparlok garo ibadonang i Madam Advocate Armark badonang rekat bangi bat kiway daki other panelists. Tiyak ko paningkong do nga ko ang panpaw banginum don kanuno kata kajing smoper hapreng jongi kong kajay benriyo hapreng jongi kong kinong songsnam hakani kajala Meghalaya kata ko badai ki Khasi abong Khasi mot comprising upanar uboy uwar umaram ulingam uday upa Khasi bayar kumju yaki parlok garo ki badonang rekat hani ka jala ka jongi nadu ko por ka bangyo la ka jong jala nadu khat khandai spa nyo por habade bakani ka reservation policy hapadeng jongi ki laijat kumala panpaw mantan Khasi jantia bat garu ngimdan kanuno ka jing ngimdai bandon kanuno ka jing semuya pair hapadeng jongi henry ngako pan kren lu dak basai kani ka jing panpaw ka jonga nakabanta banwanra badai banwanra ya kajingkala hakabidai barkanika state reservation policy kabala sating la slamba kumbasan pos nem kerja alinti lalu kapur bayo la jong cala kabarang sa hadu menta ka kentian policy mereka policy kalong tangkum ka emergency moment lani aw kabang ila banwanra ita ka policy but after some time mereka di ban kelano syaka act kepada ban act ika makan no ka ain bapura na banwanra adu po ka floor jong ka legislature mereka basosi par kalong basan pos nem ngim siyam lai i kajingkala hawli ni reservation policy kane ka policy kabanga kamdai ka policy larang apet ba kalong kumni ka no siliang tarajur hapreng hasi jantia bat garu hakabani kong itip ka basic structure jong ka reservation policy kadai bat katkum ka objective jong ka kadai nakabanta ki base katkum ka population base bat haju ka por banyo ite ki efficiency hapo ka administration ti kadai ka policy ka basungtunat kumlo ban thawla thawlanti banyara yela ki jong ki khul samla hala ka jong jala lamba ki nomi khmat ki ba lalong ki representative jong ki to ki por ki balet no Henry namar ka jing mami i jangai lesi ni sa kumni namar kumba kalong kadi bandon kata time frame kabales di kadi bandon ka agreement kaba some period of time kabales si adin spokesman ar postnam kidi ban review di hati ki por lapan ya ka RTI lapan ka RTI lamba ka sengknam di kamsem nadon but kiong does not exist tigam tip nrei kani kadong ko Donkam nakabanta bakumlongin penklan nakabanta kata banyo ita ka efficient in administration banginyo ita ki brio ki batubet kanang banginyo i ya kala kajong sala
ba adal bot kan dian ngan interrupt kan dian as we are going with the show we have got so many comments and so many opinion from the public, especially from Garo Hills, that we will conduct this show in English, mostly in English, so that everyone in the state, either Khasi, Janti or Garo, all the non-tribal who is staying here, will all understand what we are discussing all about. Mawarit, Badalbot, yeah, discuss that English. Nila baru ban ya keren lang dah Khasi. Kadadon ikap bengihap ban keren Khasi. Tingin keren lang dah Khasi ne Garo.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bajon. I would like to remind the basic structure and objective of this very so-called state reservation policy. As we all know the fact that it had been extracting from clause 4 to article 16, for which we clearly see that that this very objective, it should serve the very purpose how to uplift our own beloved youth of our state. As we know the fact that according to the constitution, it is clearly it is clearly meant only for job, for which there should be a reservation for job. What I fail to understand as a legislator, as a representative of this 17 North Long constituency, why for so long our leaders, be it from the Garo side or be it from our Khasi side, why they keep silent? And we know the fact that this very policy, it never been brought in the flow of the legislature, for which it has been passed as a mere order from the personal department, that is personal department 222/721/138, dated Shillong the 12th January 1972. I first of all would like to request and appeal all our beloved communities, be it Akasi. Kasi means comprising Panar, Boy, War, Maram, Lingam, and Garu, friends. Since we are staying in the same state as a spirit of brotherhood, we should not allow any any chances to break our relationship, our unity, for which my very objective is not that I'm concerned only for our community Kasi or Garu community, but I'm very much concerned about the upliftment of our beloved state. Since the very structure that they framed this state reservation policy in a manner to bring the efficiency in administration and it base commonly through population base. So at that point of time, 1972, for which now it had gone and it has passing through 50 years. We had just recently celebrate the statehood 50th anniversary as we have coming across. So I feel that it is high time, without discriminating between our three beloved community, because it is high time that we should see the light of the day, that it is not the single community that I'm concerning, be it Garo or be it Kasi, but I'm concerning about the state as a whole. So the main objective, I don't I don't want to mention anything about 40% leave as it is, for which I'm mentioning about the 40% of job. So I don't want to talk anything about 40% of job, but what my proposal, my appeal to the present government, that maybe we have seen the past, they had made some mistake here and there. It is our duty bound to rectify what are those flaws in this state reservation policy, for which I want to make it clear that there never uh, exists. No, for what I mean to say, that in which way, I mean they merge or link the academic reservation with the job reservation, for which this is the first flaw that I have seen through state reservation policy. So I would also like to set an example. Uh, this is the main thing that we have. We would like to see the democratic setup, uh, like the uh, how beauty that we are living in a country where we are practicing our democratic right, and through constitution that the equality should not be deprived of any communities, for which furthermore I would like to to see in front of us, in front of all of us, very frank. I'm attempting to bring this subject in the flow of the house since the time I got elected, since 2018. So unfortunately, I cannot. But the main objective is to highlight, to enlighten the mind of our youth and of our beloved state of Meghalaya, that we should bring for review and revamp this very policy, so that we can see that our beloved youth should not go astray, should not face the frustration, and they should not be desperate because of this uh, uh, faulty state reservation policy.
Okay, Pak Tribor, as a Jantia Youth or Jantia Student Union leader, what is your thought whether it is the need of the to be amended, the reservation policy is to be amended, or it should to be maintained as it is?
First thing first, I would like to Uh, Welcome or thanks everyone here, and especially to T7 who have called us up for this talk show, and then to have, I would say, another word as a brainstorming discussion, because we are very glad to have our honorable MLA Ba Dilbert in the show, as well as our sister from Garo Hills, Advocate Bonita, and then one of the I would say a youth from our community, Kong Bandri, and then one of the columnists, Dominic, and then I think, and especially to the viewers who are viewing the show, and I think this will bring a good outcome, because we have all the three communities here that we have to talk, or we have to discuss uh, in regards to the, I would say, another word to me personally, it is the most outdated policy of the government, and I think it's a high time, uh, as a community of Khasi and Jaintia, I think our legislator should have thought for a better policy, or so as to say, to amend this outdated reservation policy which has been made in the year 1972. See, why I am saying this, because why, from the JSU we have, you can see the memorandum that we have submitted to the government of Meghalaya in 1987, where our leaders, or our ex-president, ex-general secretary, have submitted a memorandum in the year 1987 to the chief minister of Meghalaya on August 1987, and copied has also been sent to the Prime Minister of India, and then copy has also been sent to MPs of Meghalaya, MLAs, MDCs, and also the district heads in Giant Hills for information and necessary action. So you can see this, because why, I would say, we have never been silent when it comes to reservation policy, and our ex-leaders from JSU, we have vocal this out to the government, and we have also submitted the memorandum in the year 1987, which clearly stated here, demand one change in the employment policy. The Jaintia Students Union opposes the new employment policy announced by the government recently, and demands that 95% of jobs be reserved for the Khasi, Jaintia, and Garo tribals, and these jobs so reserved be given away, open up for free competition among them. The JSU also urges upon who is a Meghalayan, and suggests that only the Khasi, Jaintia, and Garus and no others be declared as Meghalayans. So this memorandum has been submitted in 1987, and I can show you the copy of the memorandum to our uh, panelists. And well, we have also followed up the same, I would say, the same issue in the year 2002, and this has also been sent to the has also been sent and given to the Honorable Chief Minister Government of Meghalaya, dated July 1st, March 2002. And here we have, you can see here, the demand two reservation policy. So the JSU has highlighted this issue, which stated the Jaintia Students Union urges the government to change the present reservation policy in the state, as it is obsolete, and the Khasi and the Jaintia are the loser and sufferer. With due respect to the union, with due respect, the union suggests that the policy with reservation of 90% for Khasi, Jaintia, and Garo, and 10% for others based on merit list in the state level. So, one thing I would want to suggest to our legislators, especially uh, I would say to the tribal legislators, because see, I think the leaders or the statesmen before, they have never been silent about this, but I think the legislators themselves, they have never vocal about this, because why? We understand uh, there is a I would say, political game is going on between the three communities, and no legislators has also raised up uh, this issue in the assembly. And one important thing I would also like to highlight it here. If you could see the reservation, if you look at the reservation policy in the year 1972, which what Honorable Emily has stated earlier, so it clearly says here that it's specifically for posts and services. And sadly, what we witness in this generation is that the government have divided a state not in terms of services but also in terms of academic employment and also for the government schemes from central. You can see how they have divided it into three parts. You can see girls get more shares, sometimes the Khasi and the Njaitis get less shares. So I think I would like to say this: if you want to grow as a state, I think all the three communities should grow together as a whole. So that is from my side.
But Dominic, your thoughts?
So, thank you so much for this invitation to my panelists and to friends around. Ki perlok ni. Shwa bangin yakren, Shakmat. I just would like to make an opening remark. What actually is the basic logic of having a reservation in our state? What's the basic logic? Kai ka thong, na kai ka jing thmu bangi don kata reservation. Menghap don kata ka reservation policy. You see, the reservation system is a system basically that provides scholarship, concession in education, in jobs, and relaxation in qualifying examination, relaxation in age to certain castes. Now, this system continues to function for almost 70 years of our independence and now 50 years of our statehood. The fact is here, we should understand that for 50 years, we've been going on this subsidized mentality of getting everything on subsidies, getting everything on, on concessions. We have to be competitive. What I feel is this: we must understand history first. If we look towards history, I can just read out a note. Yakabaong ni, hausnam khandai spark hanya po khandai. The Mandal Commission, kabalatung dak sarkar hakapor jong o Moraji Desai, yakabala kedau khnang banwat lani banbenia ya kitu kijat benreal belong socially educationally backward classes. It means that in 1975, when the Mandal Commission was set up, the then Janata Party under Moraji Desai had put its mandate to identify socially educationally backward classes. Now, if you look back at what has been the effect of this, there were a lot of protest, and this was during time of Mr. VP Singh, the Congress Prime Minister at that time. So we have to understand history before we are to talk anything further of tweaking or relaxation or changing the concept of reservation. Fi namar kumni kalong. Ladangi perkhat ya kanongrim ya kabangiyang menta. 100% ki Khasi Jainta 100%, ki Garo 100%, kalong prapo. Tang bangi klet ba nakatu ba prapo kadang don sa arpo. So we look back at what the current situation is. We have 40 for Khasi Jaintias, 40 for Garos, whereas we fail to recognize that 20% of that more extra is missing. That adds to 100%. So if we add 80 and with the 20 also will break up into other categories. We have 5% for ST, SC of other categories. We have 4% for the people with disabilities, and we have 10% for economically weaker section that has been passed by the Act of Parliament, the 103rd Amendment in 2019, January, if not mistaken. So we'll have to see all round. यहाँ पे कलंग हंगनो की बंटा कबा reservation policy का कदौ हंगा शिमत ही कसंगो बा reservation should be given to the most economically deserving people based on income, based on their classification in terms of education, and also the we have to look back at the census. It comes back in census. Like a census kabakla kamut, we have to change our entire concept of looking at reservation. That's all.
Advocate Banita, I think you have heard what our panelists have said from
Yes.
the start. So just want to know your thoughts because in maybe around 2 weeks back, the AHAM has proposed the move by the Khasi Giantias to amend the reservation policy. Can you share us your thoughts? Why are you opposing? Why does the amendment not required?
First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me in this esteemed channel, and hello to my fellow brother and sister. See, in Meghalaya, there are 3 different tribes. It has been already stated by our respected MLA also. And all of the three tribes, they are not equal by their nature. It is a fact which cannot be denied. And attainment or circumstances, and as well as the need of an individual is different from person to person, and class to class. From the very nature of the society, there should be a law applying differently in different situations, circumstances, and places. An application of the same law uniformly to all under different circumstances may result in violation of the principle of equality. And if you have gone through to the Constitution, Article 14 of the Constitution, it deals with the equality. But it is a fact that Article 14 also permits for a reasonable classification basis, which is totally founded on an intelligible differential. It is a reasonable and just relation to the subject, to the short object that has been distinguished. On the group of people which has been left out from the another group. And as it has been stated by our respected MLA that the job reservation it was enacted basing on the Article 16 clause 4, but Article 14, the beginning of the equality, the topic equality in the Constitution, in Article 14 itself, it has been clearly permits the reasonable classification. And since though we are brother and sisters residing in Meghalaya state, but it is a fact which cannot be denied that we are having a different culture, though similar but not different culture, different nature, which require different treatment. Identical treatment in unequal situation, in fact, would amount to an inequality. And moreover, as per the Article 14, the classification or say reservation is based on some of the factor, which is mostly of geographical basis, population, and educational. And I remember respected MLA, he was stressing on the demography of the demography, whereas in the recent research, it has clearly shown that the According to the demography also, the reservation against 95%, Khasi Hills region is getting 47.0%, whereas Garo Hills is having only 33.69%. And according to the data that has been done by some of the researchers, data of the 2021. And according to that data, my dear brothers and sisters, the job published by the Meghalaya PSC in library in the diet, Khasi and Jaintia, they have 57%, whereas Garo, whereas our tribe, we only get 43%. In the field of the MCS also, Khasi and Jaintia, they are having 53%, whereas Garo, we only have 42%. In junior cooperative officer also, the rate of the job allotted to Khasi and Jaintia is 56%, whereas Garo, it's only 39%. Inspector of taxation, in this field also, Khasi Jaintia, they are having 57%, whereas Garo, we are only having 39%. And in inspector of statics, here also,
Madam, I will interrupt. Whether Aham are in favor of the same reservation policy, or is it required for the amendment?
For your question, I'll be coming back, but let me go through to the data, since the question of job reservation has been already raised by my fellow panelists. So, sorry, let me continue. In junior accountant assistant, Khasi and Jaintia, they have 55%, whereas Garo, we are having only 40%. Statistical assistant and research assistant, Khasi Jaintia, they are having 53%. Garo, we are having only 41%. And LDA in secretariat, Khasi Jaintia, again, they are having 53%, whereas Garo, we are having only 41%. Now coming to the literacy of 2021. If we compare to the literacy rate also, here in East Khasi Hills, literacy rate is 71.97, whereas in East Garo Hills, it's only 35.10%, West Khasi Hills, 58.28%, West Garo Hills, only 34.63%, Riboy District, 62.40%, South Garo Hills, only 27.50%, Southwest Khasi Hills, 70.78%, Southwest Garo Hills, only 23.01%, West Jaintia Hills, 73.41%, East Jaintia Hills, 85.09%, North Garo Hills, only 27.88%. And coming to the officer, at present there are 30 IAS, out of which only 2 Garo people are holding the post. That one also the nominated one. And in the Meghalaya Human Rights Commission, excluding the chairman, 3 high-ranking.
Madam, I'll just interrupt you again. We will stick to the topic only. Oh, because due to the time constraint. So I just want to know your thought, whether the reservation policy need to be maintained the same, or is it required to be amended?
That's what I was trying to say. Basing on the data, whatever I have mentioned now, depending on that, what you think. The literacy, the data is showing very clearly that Garo people are getting less. Though in the theoretically, it has been mentioned that it is 40% to the Garo, but we aren't getting any 40%, not even a 20%. Then how it is a discrimination? It's a discrimination against us, not against Khasi or Jaintia. So depending on the data and all, we are not in a position to seek for any amendment as regard to the job reservation that has been prevailing since 1972.
Thank you, Madam Marita. I'll just coming to you, Barilang Pengrop. What is your thought? What makes you come out to demand for the amendment of the reservation policy?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm really privileged to be here with all of you, especially Barrett and the rest of you. Thank you for having me. So from the very first day, from the very first time that I made the video on YouTube, I clearly said that there is no hate, there's no discrimination between us three communities. Why? Because I am the youth. Actually, Northeast should be united. We are one. But can you see the flaws of this policy? It has divided us in such a way. It is still based on that divide and rule policy. That is the first thing that I would like to let you know. I've always said love and peace, that's all I stand for. And so let me come to this policy, why I don't like it. The very first problem is that it is very, very communal. You can already see how this conversation was going just because of what? Because of this reservation policy. What is the meaning of Garo 40%, Khasi Jaintia 40%? This Khasi Jaintia 40% was from the British, you know. So how come that now we are living in 2020? How come we are still going with that kind of mindset? Very communal. Reservation policy should target a more backward category, not community. You should not generalize that a community is low, but as ma'am said that it differs from person to person. I completely agree with you, ma'am. It differs from person to person, not community wise. That is the very first thing that I have a problem with the reservation policy. Second problem is disregard whether you're a Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, whatever you are. Tell me where does the really deserving one get the reservation? Do not see that the deserving candidate get the reservation? It is only the rich people. Let's not talk about Khasi, Jaintia. Let's talk about Garo Hills for an instance, for a change. I do not see that what is that place called? I've been to a place in Garo Hills, very secluded, very remote, very, very backward. How come that is not the target of the reservation policy? How come the rich ones are getting, how come people, Garos who stay in Shillong, get the same treatment of the reservation policy, whereas Garo who stay in the most rural places, remote places in Garo Hills do not get? How come? That is because there's no target. See, let's not talk about communities. Let's talk only about Garo. How come the Garos who live in Shillong get equal reservation policy like the ones living in the remote places in Garo Hills? It's only the rich ones getting. It's only the one who have contacts and all. I do not stand for that. I stand for the person within the remote areas, for the students in Garo Hills who are so backward that they cannot afford, but they have the potential to go forward. I stand for those category, you know. So secondly, that is the problem. So thirdly, I would like to talk about the pandemic, and I'm really sorry for all the families that were affected in this pandemic. And so let's talk about the pandemic. Regardless of whether you're a Garo, Jaintia, whatever you are, during the pandemic, a lot of people were not able to afford phones or internet for their education. So in that way, some were lagging behind. So in that way, it should have targeted that population, right? But see, even though the world has changed, this policy remains the same. There's no planning, no target, no proper organization of the policy. So that is the third problem. Is it the third? The fourth, actually. So again, like, this is just a policy, right? If Article 370 can be changed overnight of a constitution of the parliament, how come a policy cannot be changed? Why? Because there's no political will. And that's what I don't like, because you know that this is something, if it has no value, why would we waste our time talking about this, getting so much hate, getting so much so much comments, so much? Why would we expose ourselves? But we know that it is clearly very needed. I'm not talking about community, I'm talking about category. Like ma'am said just now, she said that it should have a reasonable classification, ma'am said just now, and I agree with that. It should have a reasonable classification, and community wise is not a reasonable classification. Let's talk about who needs it. Even in Garo Hills, the ones who are really in need of it, they should get it. There's no planning. The one that are actually have the places who have the, I can't go deep into that topic, but it should have a weighted average for that, right? So again, ma'am was saying something about being left out, and I completely agree with that too. Because why? It's not only the Khasi, Jaintia, or anyone that's left out. It is the people who do not have the same opportunity to rise to this level, right? See, I have a phone, I can do interviews and conference, but some people cannot. So it is our job, it is the job of the reservation policy to uplift and to empower those categories, not community. So because, like, see, ma'am is right here with us, and I'm so grateful that I get to share this with you. But how can you compare that you are equally backward like the others in the other sections? How can you say that you're weaker? You're not. You are here, you're capable. Actually, you have more knowledge than me, right? I'm literally nothing compared to you, ma'am. You have so much knowledge and so much knowledge about the constitution and all. So see, you are in this category. You cannot just say that you are backward too, right? So that's the problem of the reservation policy. It has no target. It has no target. And secondly, the one that sister was saying, why are there no IAS? Not only Garo, but see, from every other Northeast state, Mizoram. Let's talk about Mizoram. Every year there's some IAS. There's at least one IAS from every year, from Mizoram, from other states. Let's see, when was the last IAS from Meghalaya? Last IPS. Why? Because we are so laid back. We are so lazy. Let's just face it. We are so lazy. We do not want to compete. Why? Okay, you know what? We'll graduate and we'll get this reservation policy because it is in such. Yes, we need reservation. We need protection, but it should have a level playing field. Is it giving a level playing field? Not community, but category, the sections. Is it giving everyone a level playing field? So just now, sister said that the data in Garo Hills are so low. Why? Again now, why is it low? Are we too dependent on this reservation policy? Are we too dependent? Are we so lazy? We should not be so lazy, right? It should protect us, of course, it should protect us, but it should not make us so laid back to the point where, you know what, we will not even have a competition. So that is not affecting us, it's also affecting the other community. You may not see it, but the students are being so laid back. The students are so laid back now, and they're like, you know what, we'll just graduate and we'll get jobs. That's not good. We should strive for perfection, for quality, right? So again, so sister was saying that MPS, MCS, MPSC posts are so low, right, for Garo, and I agree. Suppose there are 4 posts. Let's say, I'll just write it down because I get confused. So let's say there are 4 posts in the MPSC or MCS, right? So there are 20 people who applies for this post. Suppose by chance there's no Garo who applies this year, right? It's an instance. Let's say hypothetically no Garo applies. There are 5 posts, 20 people, no Garo. So what happens? Reservation is 40% Garo, okay? But there are no Garos who applied. So we do not want to take your seat, but what
Sorry.
if? will be an
Bali,
even.
Bali, due to the time constraint, it's almost an hour we are going live. So can you come specifically to the point, to what the topic is?
My point is, yes, this reservation policy is very communal. It is very divisive. It has no planning, no target. And yes, I completely agree that it should be changed in such a way that it should empower everyone. It should be revisited. There should not be division among us. There should be unity because a good leader brings forth unity, peace, and love. And there's nothing as such. It's actually dividing us. So, yes, I believe in revisitation and renewal of the reservation policy.
So, Dominic, anything you
Yes,
want to
yes,
say?
yes. May I come in? With respect to the panelists from Garo Hills, when you were talking of the data, when you were talking of the statistics that you were showing, let us understand is that that if authorities were to make changes in the reservation system, I feel it should be based on quantifiable data showing backwardness. So when I mean backwardness, it means all aspects. There should be a consensus. There should be a relook at the inadequacy of representation of those type of category of people that really require. Example, I can give an example of people with disabilities who actually have a reservation of 4% who have 4%, and also in all private sectors and government, and also they also get 5% admission for educational institutions. Number two, we have the economically weaker section, the EWS. Unfortunately, in our state, the government has not even notified that. That's very unfortunate. I do not know whether the MLA, honorable MLA, Mr. Adelbert, is aware of that or not. And the other thing, madam, when you talk of the number of the literacy rate and the data that you show, I feel that I can also show the similar data. Basically, you have to do a groundwork. Normally, when we talk of the reservation policy, I personally feel, or maybe I also give a general view that we have to also look at competency. We have to be very competitive. We cannot just remain saddled in a colonial system. This reservation policy dates back to the British system before the Mandal Commission. I will tell you by history that the British were the people who were instrumental in allowing this system to creep into the Indian society. Kalau ni namar ladangi mentangi for my kasi friends, ladangi have train ya kene ka resolution policy nga try ka de Donkam ka bnia ka bumut quantifiable data kata no halor kanu kanongrim ba kini jek breu hak emlang salang jongi ki dan hok banyok resolution mentar fi page ibarospa kibabon kidei kibayo ya kata resolution policy. Look at the medical seat, engineering seats. It's not the deserving people. They are the high class or the creamy layer within the tribal society. Kidei kito embadon kibayo bakot kibayo ya kata kota. Disya ka kota kadi bantai nagbenta kibreu baduk kibreu bajenjang kibreu kibaminot but kibreu pastam. Not for those who have money. Omdei kita beri badan pisah. So I find that if we have to look at this policy, it has to be relooked, it has to be reworked, it has to give more impetus to people with deserving categories. That's all.
Can I?
Yes, Pak Tribor. Yes, Pak Tribor. Yes, Pak Tribor, your microphone is mute.
See, I think we all got it confused, between our panelists here. I think we should make it very simple when we talk about reservation policy. So we don't have to discuss much about reservation policy in terms of central services, in terms of, central government jobs. See, we are actually discussing this 1972 outdated reservation policy specifically for state services. One must understand that. Nobody can talk about IAS. Nobody can talk about admission in Delhi University. Nobody can talk about getting jobs in Central Police Reserve or Central Police Defense or in anything. We are here to talk about the state development, the youth development, a local youth development. I feel one must understand this, make it clear. See, we are actually discussing this because why? We understand a youth is totally the youth of the state. We are totally under depression. That is job security. When we talk about job security means what? You can see the push migration, the state of the youth, especially the Khasi and Jaintias I see. I can tell you this, that we have qualified youths, who work in Delhi, who work in Bangalore, who work outside the country as well. Because why? The push migration for employment is very high in these two communities. So, I will say this. See, most of our legislator, they are done with this reservation policy. That's why we have more contractual jobs than regular jobs. If you agree with me or not, you'll find CHCs, PHCs, civil hospitals, you'll find more contractual employee than regular employee. You go to Secretariat, you go to PHE, you go to any state department, office or I would say agencies. Because why? Our legislator know this. I'm talking about the Khasi Jaintia communities. Because why? The population, both the population of both communities, we have almost 15 to 17 lakhs. So imagine the push migration of the youth. One who passed, who graduated from IIM, graduated from good universities, institutions, he does not simply get a job in a state. Because why? Nobody, no legislator is concerned about that. And if you look at the police department, I mean, look at these simple jobs, simple, with a simple state department where like, I would say youth who have graduated from simple college, see, like class 10, 11, 12, when they apply for constable, see, that is the thing we're talking about reservation policy. We have less Khasi Giantias and we have Garus in that case. See, once upon a time, I still remember. I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to make it racist here, but see, I'm trying to so as to say to suggest or to tell my Garo brothers, if you wanted the state of Meghalaya to grow as a whole, to grow as a state, we should work together. We should do things in such a way that we feel that brotherhood as Meghalayan, as a state, I would say, we grow together in every field. Simple thing is this. Why don't we come out openly and fight for a merit competition in every aspects? See, what we can see, we have not filed an RTI, but soon we'll be filing an RTI in the Directorate of Health Services. See, we have Khasi, Jaintia, and Garus who applied for medical, I would say, for MBBS. We don't have the data right now, but I know that most our Garo brothers, they used to drop out when they get the bond from the state government. Very less who completed the 5 years academic session for to complete the MBBS. So I feel, why not we come out? It's high time. 50 years. I mean, we are 50 years old as a state. Why don't the three communities fight for an open competition based truly on merits, so that these people, these youths who are working in Delhi, Bangalore, they come back to our state, and they feel that they have the opportunity to fight based on their I would say based on their intelligence, based on their hard work, based on their the determination to work for the state and for the betterment of the state, to give a proper and a good administrative, so that the state of Meghalaya will grow as a whole between the three communities, Khasi, Jaintia, and Garo. So I think let's make it simple. Let's not discuss central services here. This policy is specifically for the state services, and I think one must understand that we should come out and fight totally based on merits. Whoever get the best marks, they get the job easily. So that no, I would say another word, Tom, Dick, and Harry is playing around with the life, with the future of a youth. So I think, I'll make it very clear to my beloved brothers and sisters from Garo. It's high time you also have the Northeastern Hill University in your area. We have the same in Shillong. So you have your primary school, we have the same school, we have, we are totally equal right now. So let's not talk about these economically backward, handicap, and PWD and all that. I think let's talk about the youth. So let's be, come up with a consensus and fight in fair and square competition, totally based on merits, so that nobody can take any advantage with the future of a youth for the betterment of our state.
For all our panelists, I have one same question. I would say, don't you think that the government should consider to have a panel of experts to relook whether it is necessary to amend the reservation policy, or to relook again the reservation policy? I'll start it with Adalbat Nongrum.
Okay, let me come back again to recall about the concept, the very concept of this very policy. It is highly illegal. I mean, illegalities. No, we have to speak out about the illegalities of this very concept. We should be logic and we should be practical. I hope that we understand well. It's not about we don't want to see that there is a discrimination among our three communities. Right from before, I had spell out or highlighted in front of all of us, so that people also may have the hello. Hello. I do hope that people also will clearly understand about the very concept of this very policy, right from the very first point that I mentioned, that it never been spelled out or meant about the. It never been spelled out about the the how it apply or link with the job reservation. In fact, according to the constitution, as a reservation, it meant only for the for job. But how come we could not see as a legislator for past many years? This is all because we are hypocrisy and we are afraid of. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, Marit, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello, is it the line okay?
Yes, Adalbat, you can go ahead.
Okay.
You can go ahead. But I'm requesting you not to take so much of time.
Okay. Okay. I would like to suggest the very present government to take full responsibility and to have all the courage to do something to bring change, to review and revamp this a very state reservation policy, which I have seen that it instead of bringing integration among our communities, in fact, it may disintegrate the communities, the unity of the state, for which I would like to suggest, like a job, in regards with job reservation, like what I have said. I have clearly mentioned that I don't want to speak anything about 40%. Let 40% be as it is, but according to some clause, they should change by it state very clearly that if Garo people cannot fill up the post, it may give a chance to 1 year, to 2 years, and to 3 consecutive years. and also it may give a chance to others speaking Garo. How can we interpret to others speaking Garo? We are scared. We are scared. It may give a chance to others speaking Garo, means to outside state, maybe to Bangladeshi Garo or to Assam Garo, for which this very concept, it should serve the very purpose of our beloved communities of our beloved state. That is one point. And the second point, when it comes to academic or professional courses, we had been compromised so much by I wanted to mention again that it is highly illegal, it is highly objectionable, because it how it come into existence about this academic reservation, for which I would like to suggest that this reservation on academic, it should do away, or else it should give it should apply in a kind of percentage or open categories, because by way of given in a change, by bringing a change, that we will definitely see the light of the day, and we will see our state that it will grow. Because now for 15 years, I may ask everyone, every citizen of the state, whether our state 50 years, has it gone up, or has it still in the bottom line? So this is the, our legislator, our government, they should take full responsible, because why they scared? Every time they said it is sensitive. It is high time that it is our duty bound to sensitize this issue, because we had compromised so much, especially in academic line, like Kasi, who have attained marks 85, 90, they cannot fill. They cannot fill up the quota. It already already accommodate by that 40%. But when it comes to our Garo friends, maybe they cannot fill up. Maybe they can fill up only 20 or 25. But what about others? It may go on waste. And also have a way they may drop the courses. Who will bear the responsibility? May we know the government had taken any action on those who had come out or dropped halfway. This will affect automatically the growth of our beloved state. Thank you.
But Adalbert, my question is, don't you think, as a legislator, you are the lone legislator here with us, so yeah, we are privileged to have you here. Don't you think the government should come out with a panel of experts to form a committee to relook again on the issue, to whether to review the reservation policy, or to be whether it is needed to be amended? Badalbat.
Okay,
Yes,
can I have a word?
absolutely. I agree with you. This is the only way out, so that we can avoid any clashes among us as community. They should bring up with a committee, so that they can relook where it need to bring a change, because we cannot just compromise up to date 50 years we had passing through as a statehood.
So, Madam Bernita, what is your thought on that? If a panel of experts or a committee to be formed to review again the
I can hear. I can
reservation.
hear.
Hello, Madam Bernita, do you hear me?
Even our network is so poor.
Madam, hello. Tangan lecture iba Tribor, if you can hear me. With respect to the views, what would your best suggestion?
I think, see, like what I have mentioned earlier. So I've always considered this, and I think the Khasi Jaintia community as a whole, that we always consider this 1972 reservation policy, it is an outdated one. So I think it's high time our legislators must take this policy as a very important agenda or important issues or state issues. And I think it's high time also they should also relook at it and try to change some clause that will benefit the youth from the three different communities. I think the best is this that like what I said, to make it simple, and our particular demand to the state government, I would say the present government, the best thing is uh, we should make it not in to divide it in terms of numbers, but we should make it the Khasi, Janti, and the Garo. They should all come out open and fight for any services or job or employment vacancies for the state services totally based on open category or merits, and they should not link this division of the Khasi Jaintia community with the academic career of any students or the students from the three communities, especially with the higher studies. One who have to go for medical studies, one have to go for engineering. So let them fight particularly based on merit in terms of academic and in terms of state job services. So I think it's high time so that nobody should take advantage, and we study hard. We should have a determination that I think we all read the same book. In every academic career that we are studying or we have to that we are pursuing. So I think we all have almost the same development in each and every aspects in a society. And I think the youth of the day from the three communities agree with me or agree with to relook or to amend the reservation policy. And I think most of the youths, if you go by numbers, they would agree all the three communities should fight in an open category based on job services and academic studies of the youth of the state.
Madam Benita, yes. What is your thoughts? Whether a panel of experts form a committee should the government come out with the panel of experts to review again
foremost. But first and foremost, for the amendment, there must be a good policy which must be backed by the data. But the present data is speaking something else. So on what basis the government should amend the ongoing resolution? Because if you're talking about the two, our tribe has to be formed with the winter session as well, which we haven't got for the people, which is a very discriminating towards us. And moreover, this one, along with the winter session, we haven't get
Madam, your line is not clear or not working. So I'll just go to Dominic. Whether we should stress on reservation system or stress on merit, Dominic, or does it require the government to form a panel of experts for our committee to review or to relook again on the reservation policy?
Kemong ibajon ta hatong idon kam bangin pet ya ka reservation policy nelaning idon kam bangin focus learning in bnia ya ka merit kamot halor ka jingla ma te lani idon kam nem ka sarkar bakan
this one I'm having so bad network. Every now and then this network problem is creating.
Excuse me, madam. Let me interrupt. I am interrupting you. Excuse me. You were talking of data. I would say that if you're talking of backwardness, you're talking of data. Yeah, if you're
Hello?
talking of data of backwardness, I suggest that you should
Sorry,
ask
I
your
can't hear
MLAs.
you.
No, you should ask your MLAs who have left the entire
I
government
can't hear you.
backward.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, so ngas ngo, ngas ngo,
Sorry, I can't
ba
hear you.
ladang idon kam ya ka policy. Ladang idon kam ya ka policy. It should be a policy based on merit. It should be based on policy based on merit, rather become a policy that is divisive. So when we talk of merit, it should be based on equality. A principle of equality of opportunity should be given. Kaumut kajingyo benta jambar khoi kibreu. Ha kanu karengsan baki don lada kidai ki bawan ki baduk tam nade wana ki wana pedeng neki don ki bar kham ruspa bakhamyo kalong kadi kaju kombavi menta nado kine ki medical seat, engineering seat, kam pulit, kamnan sedong kam sarkar, ting ubayo, bam dewan hop banyo, uyo, ubayo, umyo. So I would stress more on merit and open competition that will give our state and all the three tribes an equal level playing field. Thank you.
Ba'adalbat, if you can hear me, you can go ahead. Yes, Ba'adalbat.
Yes, Bajon. Okay, thank you. Before we winding up, before we reach the ending part, I would like one more time to make clear about my stand. There are two demands. One from the job aspect. From the job aspect, I would like the present government. Okay, if we doesn't touch about the 40%, but it should make clear. It should be sure enough that from the clause for which I had spelled out that if Garo candidate cannot fulfill the post, may give a chance to 1 year, to 2 years, to 3 consecutive years, and also may give a chance to others speaking Garo. Maybe if from the Garo side they cannot fulfill, they may amend, bring the amendment by giving a chance to Khasi, or else if the Khasi cannot fulfill, they may give a chance to other genuine resident of our beloved state. That is one point. And from the academic aspect, I would like, because we cannot compromise the quality of our beloved youth who are being depriving of their right. I would like from the academic side, they should do away the reservation on academic. There should not be excess of reservation in academic aspect, for which I believe that the government today, they should see how much we had been suffered. Because I'm not speaking on behalf of the Khasi or Garo. I'm not a communal of any other any communities, but I'm very concerned about the state, about the upliftment of our beloved state. We would like to see that another 50 years, our state, it should go on up, not getting stuck down. So because of this reason, I would like to appeal the present state government to do away the academic, or by adopting adopting or applying in such a way, in a well manner, by giving a chance like in cut of percentage or open category, so that the state will not lose at the end. Thank you.
Advocate Banita,
I would like to say that hello.
You can go ahead. You can go ahead. If you can hear me, Madam Benita, you can go ahead. No, I think
she's not able to hear.
Yes, maybe she doesn't hear, or the network connection is too poor. So before winding up, I want to have one last suggestion from Barilang Tunrok. If she, yes, Barilang, what is your views and your suggestion on reservation policy?
I think the government knows that there is a problem with the reservation policy, but there's no will from their side to change it. If the government cannot bring peace to such a small state, it cannot bring unity, instead just division between such a small state. It cannot even bring development, progress, or quality in the state. Then what is the use of being there, of just fighting for seats and vote banks and stuff like that? Let's just be honest. So it is high time that the reservation policy should have some planning, at least should have target, should have an organized way of planning it. And so it is not my job to say how much. It is the job of the bureaucrats, but they should have a political will, because now we can see that there's no unity in just a small state. They're still walking behind the divide and rule, and it's very bad, because I do not stand for this. I stand for love and peace and unity, and if the government cannot see this and refuses to look to this, then it's a shame to them. So my conclusion is that there should be a renewal. They should revisit this policy, because it is clearly outdated.
Okay. Thank you to all our panelists. We are sorry with Madam Bernita. Maybe due to the poor connection, we could not be able to further discuss with you, Madam. And thank you so much for our all panelists, and to our all esteemed viewers. Thank you so much for your patience, and I hope everybody of us have benefited from this discussion. And let's take this discussion as a healthy discussions to build our state and to create more opportunities for our youths. And hakajuga por nga ay kublay ya baro iparlok jongi la day nagaro ne kasi hills ni panmap na phi ki parlok kinong pai jongi ho ni tip bagade ka channel kasi ne nyimban se bangin habban penyat ha tin English mar kidon lang ki parlok jongi nang the nagaro hills ti hani ka por nga ay kublay shubo ni ka jingi sha ka jongpi but ni kerman ba esi ka ni ka jingi krang ka jongi kan honra ka jing mentoy hamtam hakabay day ba kajing plilat iki samla la kadai hakaliang pakin yo ya ki jaka puli katkum ka katkum ka jingwa ka jongki ni bakin yo ya ki kam ki jam katkum ka reservation policy ne katkum ka hok ka jongki kublai shibun hani ka por sai sien pat ya pi baro tiaso